check. So I haven't shot a wedding in like 4 months and I'm just itching to make a video. So why not make a gear video? Now that I feel like I'm confident enough to kind of talk about some of the pieces of gear that I have, I figured let's talk about it. So, and there's so many different pieces of gear that you can buy nowadays. I'm overwhelmed by it still. It's a kind of a cool time to be involved in wedding cinematography, and with the rate of technology changing and growing, it's kind of hard to keep up with. So I'm just going to talk about the few pieces that I enjoy using the most and that are most beneficial to us. And the first being, of course, is the cameras. So we are Canon shooters. We love our Canon Rs. This is Jamie's, my wife's. She typically runs with a 24 to 105 on it. Just because she's doing the getting ready shots and she's got a lot more variety to work with. And sometimes she needs tight, wide. The f4 on that lens isn't great, but some natural lighting always fixes that. And I use typically a 35 or a 50 1.8. Those lenses are for under $400 each. I think it's $400 for the 35 and $200 for the 50. Those are great lenses to get started with. We've only been shooting, we shot for the last 2 years. We started out with the M50s and quickly jumped to the Rs. We realized that we needed to bump everything up and really get rolling on higher quality images. Not that the M50 was terrible, but the R being full frame, that's the way to go. And also in terms of upgrading, we started out with the Mavic Air. I run with the Mavic 2 Pro now. It is amazing. I just can't believe that it doesn't feel like it was that long ago that we didn't even have cell phones. So being, I think the millennial generation that I am, being born in '89, we went from really not having even internet to having pretty much anything you want. So the fact that this is a piece of technology that I own in my lifetime is pretty mind-blowing. I mean, the range and everything on it, the camera, 1-inch sensor. The main reason for upgrading to this was the 10-bit color profile, the longer flight time, just the 1-inch sensor with low light. It just makes the day so much easier. The longer flight time is huge. Just knowing that you can kind of throw it up and do what you need to do with it and not have, I mean, a half hour in the air is a long time. So I do find myself using this less and less because it doesn't necessarily progress the story as much as I used to use it. So I only use this for establishing shots and maybe some transitions. And then what I'm wearing as well is one of the, I can't wait to get out there and use this. And there's so many different ways to use it, is the Rode Wireless Go 2 mic. I had the original, and when this came out, it was a no-brainer. So there's plenty of information out there. I can just give it a quick once over. You can, within the latest update, it's basically a field recorder. If you just take the one transmitter and it just turn it on, it's already recording, you're good to go. So someone gives an impromptu speech, you can capture it. It captures backup audio, 32-bit float, you can do safety track. It's gonna make, this is one of those pieces that when you ask yourself, is it gonna make my life easier on wedding day? And absolutely it is. I just don't know how yet. There's just so many different ways to utilize it. So I did have the Tascam in the original one of these. I think I'll still use the Tascam in some situations, but these I think are gonna be a no-brainer. So again, super excited to get out and use those. For lighting, we use the Lume Cube. That's the Lume Cube. We use the Torch series. These are highly recommended by the guys, I think, in how to film weddings and across the board. They give off a great soft light. We have 3 of these. Something huge to invest in for sure is lighting. Lighting totally changed my game, our game, and having these be remote controlled is huge because we don't want these to be on the whole time and blinding everybody. You can dim them, change the color, and it's so nice to just throw these up on the stand when you get there and leave them and forget them. And then of course, we love to use the Ronin SC. I think it was a perfect gimbal for us to start out on with the Rs. They're not super huge cameras, so everybody in the world of gimbals, they know this bad boy. It's been great for us. And I think I said earlier, my wife likes to use the monopod. It just gives her more flexibility to kind of get in and get those shots that she needs to get. And then one of the random things that I think gets overlooked with gear is, this is like a non-tech piece, is hydration on a wedding day. And whether it's caffeine or all that stuff, of course you want to wake up, have your coffee, all that fun stuff. But as you're working through the day, you need to stay hydrated. And it's hard to drink like 32 ounces of water and not have to go pee at some point in the day, where it's probably very inconvenient going from location to location and everything. So we like to have liquid IV, which we try to drink one like right before we get to the location. And we know we're gonna be held over probably till at least the reception, where we know we will have a bathroom. I know that sounds kind of off the wall, but you just don't want to be stuck on a party bus or in the middle of nowhere taking video and photos and not have a bathroom around or be super thirsty. So those have been awesome for us, but I have an awesome bag from PGY Tech, I believe is how you say it. Bags are a dime a dozen. Everyone has their opinions on it. I love it. It's super convenient. I can't really show it just with the setup, but again, it's a camera bag, and it holds just about everything we need to hold for wedding day. And then just random, I still shoot with an M50 for ceremonies, with a 70-200 on this super tall tripod that I found. Ceremonies are so hard to shoot and get the angles and not capture someone's head. So sometimes cranking that all the way up is great. It's been working really well for us. And that's where that's where the receiver for the Rode Go will most likely end up at, but we'll see. But again, I'm just looking forward to using everything this year, definitely working towards a more minimalistic setup. And I got a wedding probably, it's still well over a month out. And again, I just needed a reason to make a video, and why not talk about stuff that I think I understand. A couple years ago, I had no clue about any of this. So the fact that we've figured it out on our own, YouTube has been a great help. And again, we just absorbed so much. And also, speaking of behind me, we use a Mac, a 27-inch iMac to edit on. I definitely use solid state drives to edit everything off of, back up to an 8TB hard drive, which is also backed up to Backblaze. And no issues so far, knock on wood, and we'll go from there. So looking forward to getting out and shooting in 2021, and hoping that it's a little bit more normal, or actually a lot more normal than last year. And we can't wait to see everybody out there. And thanks for making it through probably a little bit over 8 minutes of me rambling on.